Okay team, we started the fiberglassing. It's very exciting. We're very happy that the weather has turned enough that we can start getting fiberglass back on the hull and get the port side done. That's a big motivation for us. So we covered a distance of say 1 metre. I think we're covering roughly 1 metre every time. The boat's over 12 metres, maybe got 15 metres to go, so that's 15 days or so, 10 days, yeah, of doing it, but we still got to fare and do other things in between. So today's plan is literally just eat, sleep, fiberglass and repeat. We're just going to lay some more cloth down the boat and hopefully get closer each day. So I've wiped down the hull with acetone and we're going to start fiberglassing the hull again. We've worked to here, and as you may remember, it's 2 layers of 450 gram double bias. So what we do is we lay the second one on this join here to here, all the way down, and then the other one goes over the top. Yeah, I think it's ready to go and we're excited to get back into it. We've got a long way to go, but we've got to get started. Okay, we have the 2 layers on now of 450 gram fiberglass, double bias. We're just getting all the air out with the aerator, the air eliminator. We had a few comments one time suggesting names for this thing. I forget again what the actual name was. No.
Aerator maybe?
Bubble pulverizer. So next we're going to just lay the peel ply on top and then call it quits for the day. We're not doing like a lot at once, we're taking it pretty easy. So each day we work on fiberglassing till 11 in the morning, and then we have the rest of the day just to tinker away with other little projects around the shed on the boat that we want to do. So we'll roll out this peel ply and then wait until tomorrow. Go again.
Be careful. Ew.
Well, it may be hard to see, but this is actually our chart room in here. We've got a little nook. The chart room is quite important to us. I guess it's not a room, it's a chart corner. But it's very important because we want to be able to use nautical charts while we're underway. That helps with routine, and if systems fail, you have a backup to go to always. So we find it quite important to have a good sized chart table, which we have between here on sliders, and we need somewhere to put the charts. Now, many years ago, I could probably say, we were building the chart room. This chart room, as I said, was one of the first things we actually built on the interior. I'm not sure why we started with the chart room. That and the forepeak were the first 2 things we started with. I guess they were the most obvious at the time on how they would work and where they would go. We had to really offset it to the hull so that we had space around the engine, which we still do. And I think what my plan is today is to run trim around the edge and actually create a seat behind me here, a backrest that we can put charts in. I'm not really sure how I'm going to build that, but there's a lot of finishing to be done here in the chart room, so hopefully I can record this a little bit and give you an idea of how we're going to store our charts behind our back, basically. We want the chart room to be a nice nook that you don't fall out of, and you're stable and you're cozy. It's quite important if you're in a bit of sea that you don't sort of fly away. So yeah, that's the project for today. So there's the seat, the original seat, and I'm planning on building a backrest here and forming into that wall. There's a lot of cable runs going on here that I'd like to cover up and sort of hide. One switchboard there, stereo, and another switchboard. The chart table slides on these 2 white sliders here, We have a jury-rig battery right now running 12 volt throughout the boat. So everything you see is actually a 12 volt light, or USBs work and everything like that, so we can test systems as we go. But for now, it's making this area a bit nicer. Yes. Oh, bugger, that's a lot of screws. I just want to point out that it's interesting how far your joinery comes over 4 years. The previous surround I made for this seat, I did the same method, and a few things I did differently. Firstly, I overbuilt it, I glued it, the screw gauge is bigger, everything's sort of fatter and chunkier, like I'm sort of concerned that it won't be strong enough. So my level of expertise within wood strength has changed, and my joinery as well. I mean, when I did the surround, there were gaps everywhere in the fitting, and now I've rebuilt it 4 years later, and I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but it's perfect joinery. So it's funny how you're after building for so long, how much better you get at building, and how precise you can be. So I'm really happy with this surround. The next phase, once I get it fastened in and pick up all these screws that have fallen on the ground, is I want to put a little chock in the side here, which is going to actually create the seat. I'm going to rebate that into this, and then I'll build something at the other end too, and then it'll be nice and cozy there. Yeah, that's the loose plan so far. So yeah, I'll start with this one. I think the angle's good for a seat. There'll be a little cap on top, and then there's heaps of room there to be comfortable with a cushion. Cool. I'll play pick up screws. Oh, so many screws on the ground. It's very dark, but here's my rebate for the edge. Goes in like that, beautiful. Rebated on. Don't have any screws that I can put in that, but I can screw it to the wall now, which is quite nice. Okie dokie, I've got a little end wall to go on the end here. Okie dokie. Go there. sharp. Be able to fit quite a few in there. For my latest trick today, I have created a hinging door here to get into the lower compartment. The other plan is that this is also going to hinge out so that you can get to there. And then, yeah, I think it's going to be good. Here I am, in the chart room. Chart table slides towards you, slides out of the way. We can fit a half size chart, so a folded in half chart on the table easily. It's a little more pokey now in here, but I think it's worth doing just for the use of space on board. We really need to make sure we can fit everything and there's plenty of space to stow all our stuff. It's still a work in progress, but the rough idea is this will just hinge out here and then we can put charts in there and it will hinge back. I think that's going to be good. There's fair bit of space for charts. You can still sit here and kind of, you know, say hello to people around the place and talk. It's quite cozy to sort of sit back here, and yeah, I think it's pretty good little posse, really. Yeah, might put a cushion there too, make it really cozy. There's a little cubby hole here. Yeah, quite happy with the finished result. And the storage underneath, obviously, so you have to lift the cushion up to get in. Nice.
So when I was away in the Netherlands, Matt made lots of things that are now ready for me to sand and varnish. It was -2 degrees last night and the shed, as we said before, doesn't really heat up. But I'm gonna sand all this and prepare it, and I varnished something inside the boat yesterday that dried pretty well. For inside at the moment I'm using Gold Spar International Satin, and it seems to be drying well in cold weather, so we're just pushing on. I'll show you the things that Matt made and then we'll get a start on. So these are going to be drawer fronts. These are bits of trim that go around the bulkheads, the openings in the bulkheads, to cap the plywood off nicely. These are some cabinet doors. These are bits of trim with a really nice edging on it. So that will be really nice once it's all varnished and sanded. That's all sanded now. It took me about 2 hours, I think, so I've spared you those watching all that. I'll just show you inside the boat now where all those bits and pieces go, and then I'll give them a coat of varnish. So here are some of the pieces. So these are the ones with that intricate sort of edging on them, and they are essentially the same as what's around here, but then up here in the skylight, so they will cover this, and then all the way around. This extra line, you can see that's because this part of the skylight lifts up. Then these two pieces are going to essentially look the same as this piece. We put this on in 2023, it's a while ago now, and my mum did that. She sanded and varnished that, and these two pieces are for here, so they'll sit the same way like that, and then with this piece capping the top. Then the drawer fronts are for under here, under the main bunk. Let's install the drawers. They are very long, which is nice. And those two Tassie hardwood pieces will go on the front. These two. This is the aft one. So it will sit like that. And will essentially match this drawer. This cabinet still needs to be plugged. It's just not plugged at the moment because we still need to get behind it for wiring and for the hot water coils to heat up the heads. And there's two doors for there that are already done. Same thing, Mum did all this last time she was here. And then those will look really nice there. And then this cabinet front, taking it apart, the hinges are off for sanding and varnishing, but that will cover that piece. That will sit there with the hinged door fronts going like that, or possibly the other way, I'm not really sure, probably that way. And behind that frame, those shelves still need to come out because they need to be painted, but that for another time. I'll set up shop. Maybe inside here I'll cover up this beautiful myrtle table and give everything a coat of varnish.
Pretty warm, the varnish.
Don't drop it.
Put it on top. A little bit.
No.
You're alright.
No, that's dangerous, man. I'll hold it above it. Close quarters. So she was just a bit cold like the rest of us.
Yep. you.